Hello. Happy Memorial Day weekend. How the heck is everybody? It looks like we got a good group already in. Excellent. First, we got to start with a drink check.
Okay.
I have mine.
Whoa. What does everybody have? Happy Memorial Day weekend. How the heck is everybody? It looks like we got a good group already.
Jack got me turned on to this. I've had it before, but Fat Tire. It's very, very tasty beer.
Little Yingling. Excellent.
I have a major Jameson.
He's going hardcore.
I have a major problem at my house is I only have one Corona and one Coors Light. Hey guys, one of us has YouTube on in the background, so we're getting some echo. I don't know if that's you, Mike.
No, it wouldn't be me, I don't think.
Okay.
I'm muted.
I'm muted.
All righty. So, hey, everybody, again, big welcome. Everybody's got their drinks. As you can see, we have the big capital THE, McKaylee 7 on from outside next to his bike in the wood. How perfect is that? So, Mike, big welcome for joining us. We are honored you are here, sir.
Thank you very much. It is an honor to be here, and I drink to your health, Sanchava.
All right. And of course, we got Broncoride and HDR, who's been nice enough to break away from a family picnic and stick in with us. So we appreciate that. So, hey, let's do a introduction real quick for those folks that are here that don't know everybody. Starting with you, Mike, of course, our guest. And is that a Harley Davidson shirt on next to a Goldwing? I'm just checking.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So, hi, folks. This is Mike Haley 7, coming to you from beautiful Willow Spring, North Carolina. And as you can see behind me, I ride a 2019 Honda Goldwing Tour DCT. It's purchased in April of last year and have already put 13,180 miles on it. And absolutely love it. But you'll notice I'm wearing a Harley t-shirt. That's because I was a Harley owner for 14 years. I bought a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm still wearing it because I paid for it. So.
Great.
I still love Harley. So.
Great. Welcome, Mike. We appreciate that. How about you, Broncoride?
Hey, first, Mike, thanks for joining us. For those of you who don't know, I've known Mike since, 2016?
Yep.
We rode together, and Mike was one of the first group rides I did back in 16. There were 9 of us, right, on that first group ride. And he actually hosted us. I've been in that garage where he's at right now.
You parked your bike right there.
Actually parked a bike right next to where your Goldwing is, and we did a nice ceremonial shot of the drink that you have in your hands with the Jameson, and that was really cool. So and Mike and I think I've rode together for 3 years now, or 3 different times we've rode together. I think it's 16, yep. 17, and last year in Virginia. So glad to have you finally on, man. But again, my name's Colin. I go by Broncoride, and I ride a 2017 Street Glide Special and Southern Maryland string. I'm glad to be here.
Great. HDR.
Hey guys, Harley Day Rider here, back with you once again, HDR. And I ride a 2018 Road Glide Ultra. I've known Mike since the 5th grade, elementary school. Then we moved to Hawaii together. These are my crazy in-laws.
Hi, everybody.
Or brother-in-law and sister-in-law.
He's Mary's brother.
Oh, welcome. Nice to see you all.
How you doing?
So much for that.
So much for that. Go eat some food. They're going to go eat. Now, I've known Mike since last year. Many years of watching him. So it's great to have you on the show, Mike. We're glad to have you here.
Thank you.
And I know you're wearing a Harley shirt because of Harley Day Rider, so I appreciate that.
There you go. It's an honor of you. And you.
Thank you.
that is great. Thanks, Jack. If you don't know me, my name is Bodine52. I'm in the beautiful state ran by our governor that won't let us outside, Michigan. So I'm living on the edge and not listening to anybody anymore. But I drive or ride, I should say, a 2018 Ultra Limited, and I also have a 2000 Road King. I know Mike and I were chatting back and forth. He had a Road King that was one of his favorite bikes. So, again, hey, welcome. Looks like Moose is in the house. Steve Ledbetter's in the house. A bunch of folks. Steve, I got your mail today. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. All right. So you guys ready for some questions?
Sure. Fire away.
You sure? All right. All right. Let me make sure that I get all of those up because I'm
Just to clear this out of the way while you're getting all those up. No, Moose and I are not lovers yet. Sorry.
Hey, we're not judging. We're friends, but we did notice when you
one
guys.
more whiskey night, I swear to God.
Hey, we're not judging, but we do know when you go out on a trip, you guys are in the same room. But whatever. All right. Hey, we are gonna start off with McKaylee 7. So first question is yours. You follow 10 channels, but 5 of them are big ones. 5 big channels, 5 are small. But you only got time to watch 5. So other than mine, what are the other 4 that you watch? The 5 that you watch.
All right. So I watch Bodine 52. Watch Harley Day Rider. Watch Moose 3971. I watch Broncoride. And I do quite a bit of watching of the Smyrna Cowboy. Kind of keep it local. You know, small bonus vloggers. The big ones don't really do a whole lot for me because it's a lot of this click like and subscribe, and buy my channel stuff.
Yeah, no kidding. I was going to ask you that is, because those are all great channels. Do you watch the small guys or small women instead of the big channels, right? It sounds like you do. Yeah,
I mean, I do like for big ones, what's his name? The guy in Ohio. He's always riding nuts, and he says, "Hey, baby."
Maybe somebody in the comments will catch us. I'm not sure who that is.
Yeah, he rides. He was riding like a Hayabusa or some crazy thing, or an Aprilia.
Okay.
And he got pulled over for speeding, and his grandmother just died. He was taking care of her, so he's thinking about moving out to Western North Carolina, which would be kind of cool.
Oh, that'd be great.
I like his stuff, even though he does sell a bit, but I understand it's his business.
Great.
I used to watch Blockhead, but not so much anymore. Just doesn't really sing to me. And other big one, Shade Tree Surgeon.
Yeah.
I can't think. Who else is a big one that you guys know?
Adam Sandoval.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't watch him anymore.
John Maxwell.
Yeah.
John Maxwell, I have watched. I like him. I like his transitions with that hand thing.
Yeah.
I like him a lot.
I try that, and I can never get it right, so I let it go. Right? Just
because you got a big hand.
I'm just too busy.
How about you, Broncoride? I mean, if you only got, you can only watch 5, and not maybe necessarily the channel, but which do you go with? Do you go with the big ones or the?
If I read this right, so I think I'm kind of going to go off a tangent here. Like, first, do you guys have a routine? I'm going to answer it first, kind of add it maybe to this question around watching YouTube. I think like daily, like let's just say hypothetically, you're subscribed to like 200 people or whatever, like you follow 200 people. I don't know how many I follow off the top of my head. If you miss one day, and let's say 10 videos came out, and each one is, let's just say 10 minutes. So what is that, an hour and 40 minutes that you're behind now? So like I try to do a routine daily where I could spend maybe 30 minutes to 45, depending on the day. But it's hard when you have a ton of different people you follow and you feel bad when you miss them, especially people that are like really support your channel or fellow creators, because you know what kind of like goes into making a video. It's not easy sometimes. You try to watch people that are very interesting. So to answer the question, I guess it just depends on the subject. I mean, if I only can choose 5, I'm probably, human behavior would tell me I'm going to probably choose the people that support my channel a little bit more. I mean, that's just kind of like human nature in my opinion. I think, it goes down to topic. If you have a great thumbnail or something that's really interesting to me, I mean, when you look at channels, I look at somebody with like personality, someone that kind of keeps you engaged and just having fun out there. So it's kind of hard to choose. A lot of times what I do, and I'll hit save for later. I don't know if you guys do that or not. So like I'll go back, and I know I've done it on couple of your videos, HDR and Bodine, where I'll watch it like 2 days later because I'm behind. and then they'll comment and stuff. But you're not within the first hour or anything. But I usually try to get back to people. But it's hard if you get behind a day or two, even 3 days, and that's happened to me. It's hard to catch up. I mean, I don't know if you have those same issues or not, but it's hard because like I look at people, it's obviously I do YouTube because I want to enjoy watching like people like you guys telling stories and telling about your life, telling about like your motorcycle rides and stuff. And I sub to the people that I find very entertaining, very personable, very real. I think real is the most important thing more than anything. So hopefully that answered the question.
It does.
Can I interject something real quick?
Sure.
One thing was somebody commented it was Cycle Cruiser. I enjoy his stuff a little bit because it's kind of fun.
Oh, that's
but about watching motovloggers, that the problem for me is I'm watching them on my TV, and you can't comment on a motovlog when it's on the TV. So then I have to grab the phone and find the video and da-da-da. So oftentimes I'll watch videos and I don't comment. So I like them. So trust that I am watching. I just don't always comment because it's on the TV.
I do the same sometimes. I'm with you there, Mike, for sure. HDR, how about you?
Yeah, so the big thing with content creators, and I'm sure Mike can attest to this as well as you guys, I spend a great deal of my morning answering comments after a video is released.
Yeah.
So I lose the time of watching new people. But what I do try to do is, I guess I mix it up, right? I watch some of the big guys like Sean Smoke. We know him. He's been around forever.
Yeah.
And I really started commenting back on his stuff when he addressed me one day as HDR. I ran down and told my wife, I said, Sean Smoke knows who I am. Like he knows my nickname. To me, I was impressed. Yeah, but I like to mix it with the smaller guys because when you comment back to them, they're answering you with legitimate answers, right? Legitimate conversation, not just, hey, thanks, hey, thanks, hey, thanks. Actually reading your comment and knowing how to answer it. So I guess I mix them up, but I think, that's anybody who has time to watch everything on the internet, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Thanks. I'll tell you what, for me, I'm a little bit like Colin. I definitely, especially of late, when you can't get to everybody's video, especially those smaller channels that we were all at one point, we quite frankly still are, right? It gets hard to answer those folks and you kind of feel bad because they're supporting you. You want to make sure you support them. I would tell you, I'm the same. I used to watch Blockhead and all that group and probably watch them less now than I did before, maybe once every 2 weeks. But to me, it's, and I think, Colin, you hit it, it's folks that support me, but really it's the topic. A lot of times the topic is what gets me. If it happens to be about motorcycle seats that I'm interested in right now, I'm going to go check that out. If it's, one of HDR's videos on him being on with his wife for a 10-day or 2-week vacation on the bike, I'm going to want to check those out. Same when Mike's out there. So, yeah, it's tough though to get all 10, right? For sure. But you want to make sure you're supporting folks. So, all right. Second question, starting off with Mike, what kind of vlogs do you watch? Type of vlog?
Pretty much, I like the ones that are just kind of they're out on the road, they're talking about whatever. Sometimes there's a topic, sometimes there's not, but there is talking involved. I do tend to like those. I like the scenery ones. I do also like, for the bigger ones, I like when they have like a list of things, list videos. But generally, I'm watching just to see what's going on with different people, and I enjoy looking at the bike as it goes down the road, that kind of thing. I like when people do different angles sometimes to kind of mix it up a bit. And yeah, I'm not too picky in that regard. I don't watch a whole lot of motovlogs because, like, if it's a video of some guy in his garage and he's grinding out something on the grinder, like, I'm going to put this on my bike. No, I'm not really into that. Or if it's sitting in the garage talking about stuff, kind of like I'm doing now. But yeah, the videos that really get my interest, I like history stuff. I'm a huge history nerd. So if it's not motovlogs, I'm watching history stuff, archaeology, that kind of thing.
Cool. That's great. How about you, Broncoride?
Is it specifically motorcycle related?
Yes. It's specifically motorcycle related.
I mean, from a vlog standpoint, moto vlog, probably I enjoy a lot of the storytelling ones that get out there and tell a story. I like how to as well. I like sometimes when they do how to videos, especially in something I'm interested in, to always help along. It's the ones when they're just real. I mentioned that earlier. Those are probably the most fun ones. Having a good topic and just chatting away and I enjoy, I like when watching videos, especially like we talked about earlier, people that interact and interact back. Mm-hmm. So like if you comment on somebody's video, they take the time to comment back. I dig that.
No doubt.
Now, other videos like, Mike mentioned, history. I love history too. I like, my other hobby is I enjoy woodworking. So I actually like watching a lot of different woodworking stuff.
Awesome. How about you, HDR?
It's funny you asked this question because I just did a moto vlog on 5 different types of moto vlogs. And I comment back to these guys. So if you're out riding on your bike and you cut the whole entire ride to music, I last about 2 seconds and I delete it. I shut it off. And people say, slide my slider to the right. Well, you're not worthy of that. So I don't do that. Another one is, where you have no commentary. You're just riding real fast through the hillsides. I don't really care for that. I mean, you got to talk. You got to be real. People have to know who you are. And, they have to know where you come from. So I think that's the primary goal here. And like Colin said, people that comment back, I like to watch your videos. And when I say that about my comments, and Mr. Roguelide made a good point, I really try very hard to answer all the comments back. Because if you take the time to write to me, it's like the old days of the pen pals. If you take the time to write to me, then I should, have an obligation to take the time to write back. So that's kind of my theory.
Yeah, no, that's a good one. I can't agree more with you. I mean, it's, when it comes to motorcycle videos, I guess I like storytelling a little bit, like Mike talked about, because I think you're getting to know people. But I also like vlog specific videos at times too, right? Which is, hey, I'm going to the Tail of the Dragon. I'm just using that as an example. Or I'm at times I'm doing something to my bike that may relate to me, right? So I may want to watch that. So I think I like personally like a good combination of all of those. So, all right, Mike, back to you. So I wrote this question because of you, by the way. So riding styles can matter or does matter for safety and for enjoyment of riding, right? How do you handle riding with someone that may be different from you or your style?
That's a great question. That's something that I have a lot of experience with now. I learned the most from the 2016 Hoot Nanny, when we had a whole bunch of different styles with 9 of us, and some of us were slower than others. I didn't realize how fast I was compared to some folks. So I learned that you want to have people who, if you're in your large group, you want to have it 4 or maybe 5 max per small group of people who like to ride the same kind of way. So I'm a little bit speedier. I like the corners a little bit more than some. And so I would tend to be in that group, although I don't feel comfortable being in like that lead group of the super fast speedies, because I feel like that is kind of dangerous. People might compete with each other or just get hyped up and next thing you know, crash. So I try to avoid that. So I'm kind of middle. And if somebody's riding not safely around me, it kind of aggravates me. But I'm not a confrontational kind of guy. So I'll give you an example. First time I rode with Moose, I looked in my mirror and he was right there the whole damn time. And a couple of times in the scene, he said, Jesus, I almost hit you. I'm thinking, because you're too close. But over time, I started to realize that he actually knows exactly what he's doing. And I have every confidence in him. So now when I look in the mirror and I see him right there, I realize, I'm fine. And then, of course, he'll bitch about saying, oh, geez, you slowed down too fast. I almost hit you. And then I shoot back. Well, back off me, a-hole. But it's all part of the learning experience. And there are people that you ride with where you start to feel like, all right, I know exactly how this person rides. Like when I'm with Harley trick, I know exactly where he is. He's my wingman, so I know where he is at all times. Same thing with Moose. I know exactly where he is, and when I'm riding behind somebody, I try to really follow the staggered formation. I try to follow the safe bike length behind or 2 bike lengths behind, depending on the traffic situations. And I definitely never want to be the cause of an accident. So I'm always concerned about that kind of thing. If somebody's not riding safely and they're pushing their limits too far, I don't want to tell anybody what to do, but I'll hang back from them. Like, you go, you do you, and I'll do me. The old ride your own ride.
Amen. Yeah, somebody says that on almost all their videos. Ride your own ride, right?
Well, wonder who that crazy guy is.
Well, let's go to you then, HDR. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, so I mean, I do a lot of group rides. I do a lot of group rides with the chapter, and we see a lot of riding styles, right? We have a lot of new folks coming into the chapters all the time. And I was that new guy one time. I was scared to death of riding in a group, and I told Mrs. HR, I said, I can't do this. I have to stay home and get under the covers because I'm scared to go. But they made you feel so welcome. The only thing when you're new riding in a group, I can honestly say, is quit putting those people in the back. The reason I say it, the first guy is supposed to go 5 miles below the speed limit, but that last guy is going 95 miles over the speed limit to keep up. And now that new rider is really scared, right? He's just going to turn around and go home. I mean, you don't want that. You want to get people into this hobby. We have to get more people out there buying bikes. So, but yeah, I think, and I always tell everybody, ride your own ride. And I had a guy in my comments last week that said, why do you say that? We're all riding our ride, you dummy. And it's like, that's unbelievable. I say that because ride your own style in your own ride. If a car is pushing you down the road and you're not comfortable, pull over and let them around you. You see me do that a lot in my videos. It's not because I'm scared. It's because, well, maybe I don't want to be ran over by some crazy man. That's about it.
Yeah, that's a good one. How about you, Broncoride?
Mike, Bob, put us on 4-way real quick. Mike and I, riding with him, and Mike, you'll realize this, like when we started in 2016, I was a lot more inexperienced than I am now. And like one thing was really cool. And a lot of people, when you guys do like group rides, you'll have like your fast group, your medium group, and your really, really slow group. And we had, we kind of split it up, and we've talked about that before, like on group rides and stuff. It's really good to, have people more in your experience. And that's what I really enjoyed, like with riding with Mike, and no one's forcing you to do anything. It's like, hey, listen, if you're like someone that really enjoys like scraping the pegs like Mike does, you've got a group, I mean, you and Harley Trek and Moose, you guys ride really well together. I know I've rode with you guys, and I remember in 16 and 17, I'm not as experienced as those three. So like I had to kind of hold back a little bit. I always tell this funny story with Mike. There was this time when we were on this, where was it? The mountains, I think a long stretch, Mike.
Yeah,
we were on the highway. And Mike, this is before he converted over to the Goldwing, but he had I think you just, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, I think you just got a stage 4 on your old bike. And of course you want to let it out. So I'm like clipping around, and we're all together, and I'm going like, I think 80. All of a sudden I just see in the back of my, whoo! And Mike, you were hitting probably 120. And he was, and I'll let you explain in a second, but he was absolutely tearing it up. But you know what? I didn't try to chase him. I didn't want to go out and say, I'm going to push myself to go that fast. I know a couple of the other guys did, but I kind of stuck because I know my limits. I knew I didn't want to hit it. Plus, I don't know if it would even go on 120, to be honest with you. Yeah. But, I enjoyed that. And like you were worried later, you came back and said, hey, listen, I apologize that I did that. And I'm like, dude, you rode your own ride. You're not forcing anybody to do anything. So it's like you got to sit back and know your limitations, answer the questions. You got to know that you got to find yourself in a group that you're going to feel comfortable with. Don't ever push yourself to try to impress somebody or do something that's out of your skill limit. It's the best advice I've given, or I could give. over the years, I've gotten better as a rider, and especially when doing these group rides and going to these different destinations, especially like in Tennessee, North Carolina, when you could really, you could be amazed at how much of a better rider you can get after you ride some of these roads, the famous roads out there, the back of the dragon, the tail of the dragon, Charahola, any of those, the amount of experience you can get. And it's invaluable having people that support you and not push you. And none of these guys have done that, with the 4 people here or 3 people that I'm besides myself, everyone's just about enjoying themselves.
Yeah.
So, kind of went off on a tangent there, Bob.
That you did that one. Where's the mute button?
Yeah, I was gonna, if I could talk a little bit about the that incident and how I learned from it.
Sure.
Yeah, well, that day it was in that I believe that was the second boot. We were out there. I think we were headed toward Robbinsville from the Asheville area. It was this long straight stretch. It was a raised highway, so there was no way anything could come from the sides because it was Jersey barriers and 20 feet down to anything. There was no entry ramps. It was a long curve that went up into the mountain, so there was no place a cop could hide except in the sky. And it was just this dead road that day. And I said to Mark in my scene, I said, Mark, I think it's time I stretch my legs a little. Because I had just gotten to stage 4 and I wanted to see what it could do. So he said, fire away, my friend. So I just gunned it and took off like a bat out of hell. And when we got to this turnoff, oh, by the way, I was doing like 120. When we got to this turnoff, I slowed down and I stopped in the fork to make sure that nobody missed the turnoff. And then everybody went by, which was fine. And then we followed them, and I had gotten it out of my system. But man, was Moose pissed at me. Woo! But I can understand why, because previous to that trip, we went out to the Devil's Whip, which is out by Marion, North Carolina, Route 80. And we were going down the Devil's Whip from the Blue Ridge Parkway down to Marion. And we're doing this, and it's me and Moose and Mark and then Jay's friend, Art. And we were just doing our thing, riding fast and crazy. And we get to this long straight stretch and a right curve. And I took that thing like nobody's business. And Jay took it too. And Mark took it too. And we get all the way down to this T-junction. And we stopped because that's where a turn would be. And we're looking in the rearview mirrors. And where's Art? Where's Art? Where's Art? Well, turns out he went down in that last corner trying to keep up with us. And he locked up his rear wheel and ended up crashing his bike, breaking a couple of ribs, messing his bike up seriously bad, had to get it towed back to Michigan. And I felt like, oh my God.
Yeah.
It was my fault really, because I pushed it too fast and I didn't realize, Moose and Mark, they keep up, they're fine. But then a year later, or was it 2 years later? I can't remember. It was this past year. We were out on the, what was that one? The back of the dragon. And first, I don't feel so much responsible for this one because the person was ahead of me. Orvis went down, and D-Best 1A, he went down that first day. And I thought, ooh, yeah, this is a road that'll bite you. And then when I was riding later with Harley Trick, I was going pretty good. It was the trip before that trip where Orvis hurt himself, because I had gone out there a month before. And it was me and Moose and Harley Trick and Carolina Wildman going along, and I was the lead because they said, Mike, you're the nut, so you'd be the lead. So here I am squinting it, wearing, regular gear, because I was just tired of wearing all my gear. And I thought it would keep me in check. Well, if you've seen the video, I did go kind of fast. And at one point, I look in my mirror because I hear scraping behind me. And I see this white bike, and I'm thinking, is that Harley Trick? Because normally he's not that aggressive. Moose is probably as aggressive as I am, if not more so. Harley Trick is a little bit more staid, but this day he was right up my butt. So I saw that and I realized, well, if Harley Trick can handle this on that bike, then I know that I'm not going fast as I could. So I gunned it. And then I started really going fast. Well, Harley Trick was trying to keep up with me and he crashed. Not a serious one, but he did go off the road into this gravelly thing. And I felt bad. So I think now I've learned a lesson when I'm with a rider who is at equal or greater skill than I am. I feel more comfortable to do that. But if I'm with a rider who is in any way not as nuts as I am, then I'd rather ride behind them.
Yeah. You know, I think you're right on it. It's kind of funny. We must have been talking about kilometers. We must not be talking MPH, right? So it was really less than 120, right?
Yeah, it was,
Yeah.
you know, yeah, that's exactly what it was.
You know, it's funny. I watched one of those videos with Mrs. Bodine, and she said, "That guy's crazy, and you're never going to ride with him, are you?" So I said, "Well, we're going down to West Virginia. I'm going to meet him, so maybe." So you know what? To me, I think, and HDR says it all the time: ride your own ride, right? I think that when you break up in groups, you're used to somebody. HDR and I ride similar, right? I think Colin, we probably ride a little similar, especially lately as everybody's getting more experience. But when you got a guy like Mike or Moose that have a different experience level and ride differently, it doesn't mean you don't fall behind and say, "Hey, we're going to meet you for lunch in an hour" if we fall behind, right? So that's pretty critical. So hey, I'm going to keep going, guys, just so keep us on track on time. So Mike, you are up again, and this one is as channels grow, there's going to be people that maybe are not so kind. Do you engage?
Oh, geez, this is a hot button topic for me. Do I engage? Well, it depends on the mood I'm in at the moment. I go between blocking and deleting to "I will burn your house down and kill your family and beat you to death with your dog." So yeah, kind of runs the gamut. But lately, the older I've gotten, the more mature hopefully I've gotten, and the more my Zoloft kicks in, I try to just not engage, block, delete, and I'm out. I try. I don't always.
By the way, if anybody just saw HDR, Mrs. HDR sticker head next to HDR, we can tell who the better looking one in the family is, right?
I saw your text.
Somebody told me the other day in the comment, they said, if you can have Mrs. HDR on the bike by herself, when you get the hell off. I'm like, well, I got to drive it.
Hey, HDR, while you're talking, how about you? You got, you know, I can't believe anybody hates the grandfather of YouTube, but I'm sure there's one or two every now and then.
You know, and it's funny that Mike brings that up. Yes. It's funny that Mike brings that up because we've talked on Facebook back and forth. Mike, I know we've talked a lot because he used to try to reason with people that would get on and give you a negative comment and badmouth you because Mike's a good person, right? He wants to try to reason with you and make you believe his point. But the honest truth is, if they're really badmouthing you, then you just delete it, right? Delete the comment, block them. What I do is I file abuse charges on them on YouTube. Just click on "this is abusive to me," and then they can't comment on any video on YouTube any longer.
Is that why I was booted for a week?
Yeah, that is why you were booted for a week.
Nice.
The only thing
I just said I didn't like your shirt. I mean, come on.
Yeah. But the only thing I don't like about YouTube is the thumbs down because it's anonymous. You know, be a man and say, "I hate your video because you're an idiot." That's fine. But don't give me a thumbs down. That's just stupid.
How about you, Broncoride?
I like having fun with them sometimes. You know, like I'll like give sarcasm. Like if I do a Harley, like I did a couple of Harley videos, and this one's, "Oh, I hate Harley. They suck. They suck." I'm like, yeah, you're right. I'm gonna go actually buy another bike and like mess with them. And then I try to do that, just have fun with them. But normally I just ignore them. I mean, it just depends on the mood I'm in. You know, I don't care. I mean, if it happens, it happens. People are going to be asses, and if they want to say something, you know, I'm like, oh, okay. I'm not going to fight with them. Pick a fight with them.
Hey, Colin, weren't we between you and I giving Samantha some feedback once, if you recall?
A lot of fun with Samantha. She was the best.
Yeah, you know what? I will tell you that I think as your YouTube channel grows, it changes a little bit. You know, people that may disagree with something I do or my point, I'll sometimes answer back. But if it gets nasty, then I just delete them and move on. So, and I'm gonna, now that I know that Michaela 7 will burn down my house, I'm never gonna say anything. But you have a fantastic, what a ride, man! I love it. All right. Last one, and then we're going to go into rapid fire. Okay, your last video that you posted, It's not doing so good early because we know at the end of the day, if you're into that, how your video does in the first 2 to 24 hours is important. You do anything or you just let it fly. How about you, Mike?
I don't even pay attention to it. I put the video out there. If you want to watch it, woohoo! If you don't want to watch it, meh. So I don't really watch the view counts. Just the other day, I went back through and I saw some view counts. And I thought, wow. So over about a month period, I'll generate up to 1,000 views on a video typically. I don't get 1,000 every month, but if it's a new video, by the time a month goes by, it's got between 900 and 1,000 views. And that's simply because I've got, a sizable enough viewership that I guess it just kind of generates that for some reason, which is great. I'm stunned that anybody wants to watch anything I produce ever. So it's all bonus for me, but I don't concern myself with that kind of thing. I don't worry about subscriber numbers. I don't worry about how many people are watching. I don't worry about revenue. It's just, it's all icing on the cake. The thing I do it for is to share it with people who want to see it. I watch them again myself sometimes. Somebody actually said to me once, they walked into my office and saw me watching one of my videos, said, "Look at you, so self-centered watching your own video." I turned to him and I said, "You're lucky you don't see me with some Jergens lotion right now."
And based on that, we'll move over to Broncoride.
I'm sorry.
By the way, I'm going to take a pause here to say, Michele7, if you don't follow him, you should.
Jergens.
But if you're sensitive, just don't go there, right? Because there's no sense. But you should check out his channel because he's a great guy, some great roads, and is a great rider. So with that, how about you, Broncoride?
Jergens. Sorry, stop laughing.
I'm trying to move on from this, Colin. Help me here.
I'm sorry. That was a good one, dude. I'm similar to Mike in a couple aspects. I mean, it's, I think everybody, if you're creators, you would love to see people enjoying your videos. I think interaction is really important to me. I love when people interact. If I have something that's subpar, you're not going to hit a home run every time. And my goal is to get more interaction than anything. I don't, stay up at night because, oh my God, this video did lower than others. I'd learn from it. It could be the topic, could be something just people really weren't interested in. That's the only thing I would do. My videos are pretty spontaneous. I just get out there and enjoy it and telling stories. And if people watch them, great. If they don't, they don't. I think a couple of weeks ago, I put out a video that, a lot of people watched, but not nearly normal amount. Then I put a video out like a week later and it tripled what I normally get. So it's just, that's part of the game of YouTube. But to me, again, it's just about enjoying talking to people and sharing the stories. And I really appreciate when people follow me and I always appreciate the subscribers out there. It's just, again, it's more creating those bonds and those friendships with different YouTube creators and different, not even creators, just people out there that, you meet, like I've met all you guys through YouTube. I met Mike through YouTube in 2016 and, 4 years later, we're still talking. I think that's pretty damn cool.
You ain't sick of me yet.
Yeah, no doubt.
So just a quick note here, John, Happy Jack, when he heard my comment about the lotion, he said, "That's how I watch your videos, Mike."
Boy, Happy Jack.
Hey, Happy Jack. Hope you're well and feeling good, brother. How about you, HDR? What do you do if a video is not doing as well as you're used to early? You do anything, or you just let it fly, like Mike said?
It's funny because Michele7, even though he's younger than me, was one of the first people I started watching. And Sean, Mike used to always say he did these as personal training videos. And if you live by that rule, then you won't really watch counts. But I just had that conversation with Mrs. HDR coming out to this picnic today. I said, if you have 20,000 subscribers, the first hour, it would be that you should have 20,000 views. It's like people are subscribing to you. How come they don't come back to view your channel? And I don't know what the answer is to that. I wish I did, but I really don't do anything. I just let them roll.
You know what? I will tell you, and Colin and I have talked about this as well. I'm a pretty analytical guy, right? And views at the end of the day don't matter. We're doing this for ourselves, and we're meeting friends through this. I will tell you though, if I have a video that really bombs, I may move up the next video a day, just to get it closer to a video that didn't do so well. So that's just kind of how I do it. So, all right, guys. Hey, just in the spirit of time, we are really going to do. It is rapid fire. We're going to first get rid of that question. I hope. Bear with me. I'm a little bit slow at it today. Colin, where are you when I really need you, man?
He's at home. I can't help you, man.
I need help, right? All right, it is rapid fire.
Real quick. Yeah, I'll play the sax later.
Yeah. How do you get that on the bike, by the way? All right. So we need to definitely do rapid fire because I want to get to a couple questions, and in respect for the weekend, and I want to make sure we close up on the hour. So here we go. We're going to start with you, Mike. Type of gloves you wear, fingerless or not?
I used to wear fingerless, and I used to wear the kind that had the Velcro and the back of the hand was open. No. I wear full gloves now because if you go down, you're going to be like this. I don't want my fingers to get chewed up. I wear armored gloves. It's got the latest CE armor and the titanium knuckles and all that from Dainese. That's my go-to glove. I do not get gloves from Klein because I got the aerated ones, the perforated ones, and I went to pull them on and they ripped and nobody would give me my money back or give me a replacement pair. So screw them.
I remember that video. How about you, Broncoride?
I'm full. I use the touchscreen ones too for the phone, and that helps. So
how about you, HDR?
Right now, I'm wearing rubber gloves because I don't have to change them when I stop to get gas. But most times, fingerless during the summer.
Yeah, I'm fingerless too. Funny, I took the Road King out today, and I had to get the gloves out of my other bike, and I went to sit on the bike, and I went to hit my GoPro, and I'm like, why won't it turn on? And I realized I had a full glove on and a half glove on, so I felt a little like Michael Jackson. But my second rapid fire, and this is just for me or for Mike. Do you guys agree that the Michele 7 video of him throwing his backrest was the funniest damn thing you've ever seen in your life? And let me just say, if you haven't seen that video, you got to check it out. I was like the 10th person that watched that video, and everybody was like, oh, Mike, I'm sorry you're having a bad day. That's awful. I hope things go better. I typed in there, that's the funniest damn thing I've ever seen in my life. So still the funniest video I've ever seen. Go check that out on Mike's channel, where he is actually ticked off, throws his backrest, and he wasn't making it up. It was funny as crap.
And I put this peaceful Indian music onto it. It just made it perfect.
You got a YouTube Emmy for that.
That is still by far times 20 the best video I've ever seen. So, all right. Do you wash or wipe down your motorcycle? And for my clarification, we are talking about the bike.
Yeah. Like what I used to do on the Harleys, I would get I have one of those lifts I got at Northern Tool, and I get it up on the lift, and I would do all this stuff. I made videos about it too. If you look way back, you see my white wall cleaning video. And over time, because of my leg, and I ache all over all the time now, and I don't like getting down and then. So I figured out a solution. When I was out at Sturgis last year, I noticed there was a car wash, and we had to get all the bugs off the bike because, my God, there are a lot of bugs out there, especially bees. So I went to that one of those drive-in car washes where you get the hose, and I didn't know this. I'd never been in one. They've got different settings and different soaps and waxes, and there's a drying gun, and I'm like, oh, yeah. So now whenever I want to wash the bike, I go there, and I never have to touch it. It may not be as clean, but it's still clean.
So HDR, you are now off the hook as the person that doesn't give a one-word answer on rapid fire. Mike now wins. So it's a joke. We'll clue you in on later on that one, Mike. How about you, Broncoride? Wash
a couple people in the chat said this. Depends on how dirty it is, but normally I just wipe it down. I'll wash it like once a month, unless it's like a disaster.
HDR?
White before the ride.
Really?
Yeah, it gets dusty in the garage, and I don't want my friends to see a dusty bike.
Because
then they think I'm unkept.
I appreciate that. Wipe down the bike for me too. All right. If you ride by somewhere and it's pretty cool looking, do you stop for a bike picture or not?
Yes.
Colin?
Yes.
I would say yes.
Of course. Come on, really? Prefer riding solo or two up? Mike?
Solo.
Colin?
Solo.
Solo by myself, two up with my wife.
Well, that's what we expected, but
Well, yeah, but I should never ride two up if I don't have my wife with me, unless you're with me, Bodine.
exactly. Hey, no, we're still
I
not
don't
doing
wanna
that.
see
We're
that.
still not doing the paddle boat, dude. So
See that.
I will tell you, since my wife is not here right now and she doesn't watch this live feed, I will tell you riding solo. Do you ever do any B-roll on your videos? If I think most people know what B-roll is, Mike.
Is B-roll when you have like two angles?
No, B-roll is where you may be talking about your bike, but you're actually kind of walking around the bike, just with a picture of the bike, and you're talking about something that you're doing.
No.
Colin.
Sometimes the only time I usually is with drone
Yeah, that makes sense.
footage, but that's it.
HDR.
I believe I have.
Yeah. I don't. I think I got to get better at that because I think it's pretty good if you do it right. So you're on a long straightaway. You're out by yourself. Do you hit it?
Hell yeah.
Bronco?
Yes.
Jack?
I never exceed the speed limit. Hell yeah, I do.
Hey, Mike, I'm not sure how fast you got your old Road King out, but I hit it the other day and was pretty impressed. For a 2000 bike, it still can get at it. So social media, too much, Mike? And would you consider quitting other than YouTube? Do you ever think about shutting everything else down?
Yes, especially Facebook.
Bronco.
I mean, I'm not a social media junkie like you are on Instagram, where you post pictures 10 times a day. Isn't that you now?
You're welcome.
Yep. So, I mean, I could go away with it for a week. I mean, I'm not like on IG, I do that. I think all of us have Instagram and Facebook. Yep. And could I go without it? Absolutely. But I don't think I'm crazy with it.
Yeah. Jack, HDR?
Yeah, I think the same way, because I feel, and I taught Bob this, when you post to Instagram, it goes to Facebook. Now I'm answering comments on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. It takes a lot of time.
Yeah. You know, I would tell you, for me, and I've kind of lately got away from this. I have normally kept Facebook to only family and close friends. As you get more and more videos out there, people start finding you on Facebook, and you actually feel bad to say, no, I'm not going to friend you, right? So I will tell you that I could probably do without Facebook and be okay.
But
so,
you have a fan page, right?
That's the problem, quite frankly, is that I have a page that, you know, everything goes to on Facebook that people see, right? Like UHDR. So
sure. Yeah.
I think Broncoride pulled out the Jergens.
One thing people do not know about you, Mike.
I think people don't know. Can you guys circle around back to me?
Yep, HDR.
One thing that people don't know about me, I am so open on my channel that is very hard to answer. I don't even have anything.
Come on, dude. There's something.
Oh,
Oh,
I have a picture of myself and Bodine in a paddle boat that no one will ever see.
Oh, God.
Okay. Broncoride. You know what? I will tell you, we don't care about subscribers, but I think we've all lost about 50 after today.
You guys might get a kick out of this. So about, I used to, in school, I was studying to do television production. And one of the things I had to do was I worked at a local CBS affiliate, and I had this show that only aired, I think, 3 or 4 times, but it was called Colin on the Corner. And I'd actually go and interview people in the corner in this little small mountain town. And there's not really a lot of subjects to talk about in the middle of Colorado in these small mountain towns. So I'd go up to them and say so Earth people, what do you think? And that's type stuff. So we'd say, okay, what's the difference between hacky sack and Birkenstocks? And, these are the topics we talked about. It aired on a local CBS affiliate. And I did that for 3 or 4 times.
Cool. Wow.
So there you go.
I will tell you that if the lines on the grass after I cut it are not straight, it's a problem.
Yep.
Just so you know. Okay. Yeah, when you cut the grass, the line's got to
grass.
be
Same way, man.
Come on, right?
All right. Here's my thing. A lot of people don't know this, but some of them do because I like Jack. I'm kind of open about everything. I served in the Peace Corps in Fiji for 2 years, from 1995 to 1997, as a teacher trainer, and I'm very proud of the fact that I tried to help you.
You had that on one of your videos.
I've seen that one too. And again, hey guys, if you haven't checked out Mike's channel, who's much bigger than all of us, but check him out. I mean, you know, he kind of jokes around a lot, but this guy's done some amazing crap in his life. So check it out.
Yeah.
Boots or riding shoes, Mike?
Depends. If I'm on a short trip, like to my school, I'll just wear sneakers, which I shouldn't because I know it's squinting. But on a long trip, definitely boots. I wear the Daytona boots.
Gotcha. HDR?
Boots, and on trips we carry our shoes, tennis shoes.
Got it. Broncoride.
Boots. That's all I wear.
I will tell you I am boots, but today, while working on my Road King, I had to ride it around the block, and I did not have on boots, HDR, and I did not have on a jacket, and I felt like somebody's probably going to tell on me, and I think that's what I just did. Okay.
Yeah, I seen a guy today in shorts and a tank top riding. So
well, that's wrong. Gifts online or go to the store, Mike?
Online.
I'm a mix. I do mostly online, but I still like going to the store too.
HDR?
Online, hate stores.
If I never walked into a store, that'd be great. Stock motorcycle or not, Mike?
On a Harley, never. On this Honda, totally.
I like that one. Colin?
Stock's fine with what I have, the Milwaukee 8. But of course I upgraded because I was stupid and I rode a stage kit, and so I ended up upgrading mine.
How about you, HDR?
I never leave them stock very long.
Yeah, nor do I, but hey, that's okay, right? So getting off the bike topic a little bit, favorite female TV or movie star, Mike?
Monica Bellucci, baby.
Oh, good one.
Ooh, good one. How about you, Broncoride?
Sandra Bullock.
Nice.
I'm a big fan.
Nice.
I like the brunettes.
HDR?
Sandra Bullock, hometown girl.
Really?
You and I are the same?
Always. I told Miss HDR, if Sandra Bullock shows up, she has to move.
Bang freeway.
I will say there's only one person that can get me to change out Mrs. Bodine. That would be Jennifer Aniston. So, all right. Favorite male TV or movie star, Mike?
John Wayne.
Oh, nice. Hey, that's why I named my bike Duke, by the way. So you know. How about you, Colin?
You know, I dig is Harrison Ford. I've always been a fan of his. I liked when he was Jack Ryan. And Indiana Jones, Blade Runner. I've always been a Harrison Ford fan.
HDR?
George Clooney.
Ooh. Nice.
Looney.
All right. For me, don't ever go against the family. Marlon Brando, without a doubt. All right. Mulch or rock? How did I come up with this?
I don't know.
Colin?
Rock.
HDR?
Rock.
I just moved into my new house and it's rock, and I can't tell you how happy that makes me. It's kind of a bit concerning. Ketchup or mustard or mayonnaise? Mike?
Plain.
Plain? What the hell's wrong?
Plain, baby.
Okay. All right.
Mustard all the way.
Mustard all the way. HDR?
Ketchup.
Mustard for me. All right. Do you wear any motorcycle patches or pins, Mike?
I used to, not anymore.
I do not.
HDR?
I still wear my Mike Kelly 7 patch.
Yeah.
You have my Kelly 7 patch?
I have a Mike Kelly 7 too.
You sent it to me. Well, you gave it to me when we were in grade school. You colored it.
Yeah.
No, I don't wear any.
Yeah, nor do I. Okay, I know the answer for all you guys, but I'm gonna ask it anyway. Mike, on your videos, intro or not? You gonna do an intro?
No intro.
No intro. Colin?
75% of the time I do one.
HDR?
25% of the time.
I always do an intro. I will tell you, though, it has to be under 7 seconds. And if anybody ever wants any advice, if you're going to do an intro and it's long, you're losing a lot of people. Don't do that.
That'd be a good question one day, though. Why do an intro if they already know who you are?
Yep.
The idea is to show people value of them staying on your video.
You can see the evolution. I used to do intros, the earlier videos, I did longer ones, and they got shorter and shorter. Now, none at all.
All right, 3 more. Mike, do you ever remind people to subscribe?
No.
Colin?
I do sometimes. I'll pop up a little, like a bing or ding or something through the video. Just hit subscribe.
HDR? HDR, how about you?
Yeah, occasionally, because I think people out there don't know still. The older people think they got to pay like subscription for a magazine.
Well, I paid to watch your channel.
Oh, let's go and pay then this weekend. Video.
I will tell you that I do not do that. I do that occasionally. If you do that a lot and you do it early in your video, you haven't created value for people to subscribe to you. Go do your thing. To Mike's point, if they like it, they'll hit the subscribe button. People are pretty smart, right?
True.
All right. A steak on the grill. You put steak sauce on it, Mike?
No, rub.
Okay. Colin?
You know what? I would rather put blue cheese on it and then broil it. I'll put slather that stuff with blue cheese, Roquefort, and just.
Why do you put mold on your steak?
Oh,
I never heard of such a thing.
I could take a big thing of blue cheese and just shove it in my face, and I'd be happy. That's bliss right there.
Wow. Woo. HDR?
No, I dip it in A1 after it's done.
Okay. I will tell you what. I will have the first bite of the steak and then make the decision. Real quick, that started. I heard of a guy that interviewed a guy for a job at a breakfast. He got scrambled eggs. He put pepper on the eggs. And the interviewer said to him, "Why are you putting pepper on the eggs before you know if it needs it or not? Is that how you make decisions?" And it's always stuck in my head. So I will always eat that first piece of steak before I put steak sauce on it. I probably need to see a shrink.
Aristocrat.
There you go. All right. When you walk away from your bike, this is the last one, and then we'll get a couple quick questions if we can, Broncoride.
Yep.
You look back?
Hell yeah.
I do.
HDR?
Oh, we're going to fall over.
I will tell you, if you don't look back at your bike, you should get another one. That would be me. So
I'm ready.
All right. Hey, thanks for the answers to the rapid fire. Colin, we're running up against the hour. Before we close up, can you give us maybe 2 questions from?
Yeah, I got a couple here. I'll pick 2. One was asked by Blue Bike Girl. What is your?
Wait! What a surprise you're going there. The one person that always is on. What a surprise that is, and we appreciate her being on.
I think it's a good question, actually. What's your favorite video you've ever done?
Wow.
Favorite video I've never done?
Yep. What's your favorite video that you've ever done?
Me on my old Gemma, my 17 Ultra Limited, jumping Snake River Canyon.
Wow, you're still here, so now I got to go watch that video.
I got to watch that.
Watch it too.
Alan,
I haven't done it.
I like I think if I were to think one, there's 2, but probably my favorite is I did a history video. Mike, you probably I think you saw this on an antique bike from when we went down to Wheels Through Time. It's called the Traub. And I did all that on one take. And it was like
awesome.
A whole 13-minute video. And I can't believe half the stuff I remembered from that. I just remembered, reading about it. And I'm like, well, I'm just going to go on a tangent. And I love that video. And then the second one I enjoy, they're kind of the second one is when I did this. I did a video on stage upgrades, stage 1 through 4, and kind of explain the differences that I did on a seminar with my local Harley dealer. And I really enjoyed doing that. And because I'm not a mechanic, but I just I sounded like one of those guys that stayed at a Holiday Inn Express the night before, where I just rambled off of stuff. I sounded intelligent, but I really had no freaking clue what I was talking about.
That's awesome.
How about you, HDR?
My definitely the best one I've done is the 5 types of motive logging. I just had fun doing that video. I feel it was creative and something that outside of my scope of practice.
Nice. I will tell you, for me, even though I've had videos that I really like doing that did well, my funnest video that I ever did was a ride with HDR, Mrs. HDR. I think it was called the Kinzu Dam, where we rode. It was the funniest time I've ever had in my life. We went from driving by a YMCA and singing YMCA, all 4 of us, to stuttering and not being able to get stuff out of our mouth. So that ride with HDR and his wife was the funniest one I've ever done.
All right, quickly, the video that I like that I have done is going to be that Back of the Dragon video. I had a good time on that one.
Yeah, for sure.
If you guys haven't rode that yet, that's probably one of the best roads. Mike, you probably agree with me on this. And it's really, it's not hugely popular. Well, I mean, it's not hugely known, maybe. Great freaking road. I think it's 30 miles, not to get off track. Last question. We'll do it on this. And I believe it was Bob that asked this. Nelson. I might be wrong on this, Bob. He just picked up, and it's kind of good timing, especially on HDR's video. I think it was today. You have a 3/4 helmet or even a half helmet. What's the best audio fix in you guys' opinion?
Cena 10C is the best overall, or the Cena 20S. Anything Cena, the audio is going to be great, even with a half helmet.
Colin?
I'm a fan of Cena. I mean, I made a comment on your video, Jack, on this. I have a 10C Pro, and a couple of you guys do on here too, and I use that, and the audio is fine. But I also have the 30K setup for a passenger, and the audio is really good with that. The only thing, it only works if the 30K, you only can get mesh if other people have it, but it still works with Bluetooth. And I've never had any audio issues with those two.
How about you, HDR?
I can say honestly, with the new 10C Evo camera, that the audio on the video side is so sensitive, that the wind noise is so disgustingly high, that today I put a dead cat on it. I know we talked about that a few weeks ago about somebody killing a cat in the driveway, which I don't really care about that at this point, but I hope that fixed it. But you have to keep the shield down. The only thing I don't like about the guys recording all their audio on the 10C Pro, I can tell you, is you don't hear the motorcycle. So it's not.
Yeah.
What I would tell you to do is cut your GoPro audio into that and just lower it down a little bit so you can hear the rumble of the bike, because people are thinking you're doing voiceovers.
Yeah, HDR, I think you're right on. As you know, I use a 10C Pro and I use a full face helmet, right? So
yes.
there are times. But I will say 9 out of 10 people that comment on my audio will say, how do you get your audio so clear? 1 of the 10 will say, I can't hear your bike. Is this a voiceover? But I will tell you, mostly people say your audio is crystal clear.
Yeah, but can they hear the motorcycle? They're just hearing you.
They can, but again, 9 of 10 people are saying they'd rather hear me clearly. I agree with you. As a matter of fact, today I changed my mic, rode the Road King, which is loud, and I actually had the visor open, and I think I got the best of both worlds, HDR, because you can hear the bike. There's a little wind noise, so I'm going to start going that way and see how it works. So
we talked about that. Maybe even putting a digital recorder, like Triple X Deadhead used to do, back by your pipe somewhere, just to have that sound of that sound that I'm out on a motor. And people will tell you, if you don't have any wind sound, then it's not authentic either. So I don't know.
Good point. If I could.
Yeah.
I record with a GoPro Hero 8 and the Cena. And what you could do is you could have both audios going at the same time and lower the GoPro so the wind isn't too bad.
Yeah.
And that would be the full effect of the bike sound. Plus, you'll be able to hear the good audio from the Cena.
Hey, Mike, that's good, because I use a Sena 10C Pro and I use the GoPro 7, so I'm going to try that. So
yeah, try it out. You'll like it.
I will tell you though, audio is like so key on videos.
Yeah.
So I mean, like if you have somebody that has constant wind noise, oh god, it's annoying. Make sure audio is key. And honestly, there's so many different ways of getting audio. Some people do external recorders. I know some people use task cams. You could use the think it's Zoom makes one. Or you could just record it, plug it right into your Sino. A lot of people use different mics where they plug it in. They have the GoPro adapter. There's a lot of different options out there for audio. I know like the ones we use, HDR and Bodine, and the Sino 10C Pro works really easily. I mean, of course, there's some drawbacks where you don't hear the motor as much, but ultimately you want to hear the content and not hear like too much of the bike, so it's not overbearing, I guess. That's my take on it.
All right. Hey, just closing up because I know it's a Memorial Day weekend and everybody's out and about with family. Thanks everybody for checking in. But Mike, if I could get some final thoughts from you, I'd appreciate it.
All right, my final thought is this: if you buy a motorcycle, ride the motorcycle. Learn everything you can about the motorcycle. Become as good as you could possibly be on a motorcycle. Share your journey with as many people as you can, either in a group ride or joining a local riding club or something, and make that part of your life, because it's one of the best things that can possibly be part of your life.
Yeah.
And of course, if you're going to ride safe, for goodness sakes.
Amen. Broncoride, any closing comments from you?
Mike, thank you again. Mike and I are good friends. We've known each other for almost 4 years now, and look forward to riding with you again one day. And you've got the beautiful bike behind you in the background. I'm glad you're enjoying that Goldwing, man. It's a fun little bike. So thank you for having on. Again, thank you guys for everybody for joining. Again, I think this is our 6th or 7th week. We're kind of losing track, and we do appreciate you guys taking an hour out of your day, or an hour and 5 minutes, and spending it with us. We appreciate it.
How about you, HDR?
Yes, thanks everybody. And on this Memorial Day weekend, we're remembering all the people that have served and have given that ultimate sacrifice.
Thank you.
Part of your family member, then our condolences and our honoring to you, and the men and women who are still serving in the armed forces. So, and thanks, Mike. We appreciate it. I hope to catch you at the next class reunion. I will be coming down that way to visit with you.
Cool.
So we'll be hanging out together.
Yeah.
All right.
And my final thoughts, HDR, amen to what you just said. And I'll tell you what, get out there and ride. I know, Colin, you say this all the time. Meet some new people. I know Mike, and I really appreciate you getting on. When we went down to West Virginia, I hadn't known you other than on YouTube. But when I met you in that bar that night, it's kind of like we knew each other, right? It's one of those things that, you create some friendships that you'll have for a long time on or off the bike. So stay safe, everybody. Thanks for checking in, and enjoy the rest of the weekend. And thanks for spending some time with us.
We'll talk to you later.
Good night.
See you later.